Now, I think it's pretty safe to say that Sony is beginning to fall into the current state of the Marvel Cinematic Universe and where Disney has been for a very long time now, ever since they destroyed Star Wars and the Marvel Universe and just Disney in general. We know that the Sony Spider-Man universe so far is not looking good, especially with the upcoming Madam Web, which, by the way, was created by S.J. Clarkson, and what Kevin Feige had to deliver when it comes to his stance on the fan backlash of everything related to Madam Web is on a whole new level. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future updates. You can also follow me at Mike01. I thank you all so very much for the great and kind support. So, Madam Web, we know we have two familiar stars attached to this movie. You've got Dakota Johnson from 50 Shades of Grey. You've also got Sydney Sweeney, alright, from many other shows and movies that she's been in over the years. Now, what's interesting about this is that we know that there's been a lot of damage control happening via Disney, its CEO, and the stars attached to this movie, along with director and writer S.J. Clarkson, really trying to keep this film together. Because we know that there's been endless backlash happening with this film, not just based on the trailer alone, which by the way included cringeworthy dialogue and just terrible editing altogether, but it goes beyond that. It goes, of course, in the way of how they are pursuing an ideology and an agenda-driven strategy with this upcoming film for the SSU. So, moving on forward, we know that Kevin Feige in particular, and though he's not working on this movie, he is defending it at all costs, because we know that there's a lot of plans to combine the Marvel Cinematic Universe and the SSU, also known as the Sony Spider-Man universe, to kind of combine that into one big animal for upcoming Avengers movies. Alright, this is something that is being done and discussed behind the scenes. However, alright, beyond all of this, with, of course, Sony doubling down with their agenda-driven strategies with the upcoming release of Madam Web, one major development has to do with Marvel boss Kevin Feige defending Sony's efforts with the film in the wake of the fan backlash by delivering the following. Now, coming out of the Marvels and the challenges that we faced for a female ensemble cast, I owe my greatest respect and support to S.J. Clarkson for putting all of her power into the next chapter for Sony with their next motion picture, Madam Web. She is a brilliant director and writer, and I think it's very important of her to stand her ground against disgruntled fans that are very misguided in the aim for this film by its creators. This is the female ensemble film that I think the Sony Spider-Man world and universe deserves to hopefully offer a grounded universe that could one day collide with ours. I cannot confirm or deny if that will ever happen, but it's something that we have discussed in passing. I think it's the right time for the world of Spider-Man to shift focus on the modern female, and I am so excited to see what SJ has to offer with performances provided by Dakota Johnson and Sydney Sweeney. They are both a national treasure. This industry and its push for female ensemble films on a cast roster is something that has been long overdue, and we have seen so many object to this move, and it's quite disheartening to experience such a response this past year, with many studios attempting to establish all of this. I was more than happy to work with Sony and how we collided our universes before in the past with No Way Home, and I am hoping that we can do that again with Madam Web to really expand this approach to a more global audience. It's quite refreshing to take a break from Peter Parker and to have this source material available to expand for all Marvel fans. It's most certainly a story that values how powerful women can be, and I had the great chance to catch up with S.J. Clarkson, and she and I both agreed that hopefully one day we can find a way to work these characters into our known universe. But nothing is concrete on that. Madam Web is the type of story that our universe deserves as well, and what we here at Marvel Studios are trying to explore as well in the process. And we will be doing this with a new untitled project that we will be happy to announce in the next couple of months. Now guys, let me just stop here. I think what he's alluding to right here is the female Avengers film that's going to take place of the Kang Dynasty that went into shambles after everything that happened with the firing of Jonathan Majors, and how they really had to restructure that movie from the ground up. Now, Madam Web, Alright? Whether you're a supporter of this movie or not, doesn't matter. You can't deny the fact that it has a large backlash behind it. And rightfully so, in my opinion. I mean, when the trailer first dropped weeks and weeks ago, initially when I saw it, I was like, alright, what's with the cringeworthy dialogue? You know, what's with the, the performances by Dakota Johnson and all of the other characters and the way that it was being acted? It's not just the writing, right, of the dialogue, but it's also the acting that was so off-key in that trailer alone that you can only imagine what's coming next for the final trailer, or any kind of promotional stuff. We already know that Dakota Johnson herself is being instructed by Sony to head into damage control, which is exactly why she came out with that video just the other day, that she believes that fans are going to see it twice with a little lick of her lips, which is really odd behavior, to be honest. Like, what is she insinuating there? I think that we all know exactly what she's insinuating. So, we have Kevin Feige, again, defending another property, another, brand that's not necessarily connected to the Marvel Universe per se, though they are connecting both universes. This is exactly why Kevin is behind defending the director and writer of this film, defending Madam Web, because they want a future with those characters. Now, we already talked about how Secret Wars is reportedly going to combine both universes to a degree. There's a lot of talk that Andrew Garfield will be in the mix of that film. We have a lot more to discuss on that. But what's interesting about this is that how Kevin Feige elaborates that we need more films like Madam Web, and how upsetting it was for them that they didn't quite reach the reception, he says, that we wanted with the Marvels. But that doesn't mean that we are stopping, he says, with that type of approach. We have many on the horizon that will explore a similar format that he is honored to be a part of. So again, he's acknowledging that the Marvels did not get the reception that they were really aiming for, and pretty much admitting that the movie failed. And I'm deeply appalled, by the way, of what they released when it came to that deleted scene just a couple of days ago that Marvel Studios dropped. I don't know if you saw it. Go ahead and look up the Marvels exclusive deleted scene. And they make one of the most disgusting jokes by Tessa Thompson that insinuates another very odd behavior. The whole, I think that you should strap in joke was just absolutely ludicrous. It goes to show you exactly what Disney's all about and what Kevin Feige backs. So again, there's a lot of things happening with both the MCU and the SSU. The SSU is not looking bright at all. We've had quite a number of failures, such as It's Morphin Time. Alright, It's Morbin Time, I should say. That popular meme that came out of that film really has set the motion for the future of the SSU, and it's not getting any better with Madam Web. So overall, I would really love to hear what everyone has to say about everything that's being done in the form of damage control by S.J. Clarkson, Kevin Feige, and Dakota Johnson. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I will catch you guys later.